Ang pangalan ko ay Jaden.
AJ Oppenheimer.
Benjamin.
Benita Philip.
Poppy.
Saminata Bicharati.
Lois Sarkodie, and I am
Jaqkodí.
So when I lived in Paris on my gap year, we used to go and drink champagne in the Champ de Mars, which is right next to the Eiffel Tower. And one night, one of my friends got really drunk and she couldn't go home by herself on the train. So we called her an Uber and we all got the very last trains home. It was late at night. And her Uber wasn't taking her in the right direction. I don't know what was wrong. Something was going on with the Uber driver. And I was trying to call her, but I couldn't reach her. So I just got off my train. I was stuck around the Champs-Élysées area, which is about 30 minutes walk from the Eiffel Tower. And I was wearing flip-flops. So I just took off my flip-flops and I ran to the Eiffel Tower to try to get her. Unfortunately, I couldn't find her. So I spent a couple hours just wandering around the Eiffel Tower. My phone was dead until I made friends with some construction workers and they called me a cab. So again, I think that idea of sacrifice.
In the name of love, I've sang to my girlfriend in front of my basketball team. And I feel like I really did sacrifice my pride in that moment because I've never done that in my life. And I wouldn't think I'd be doing that ever in my life.
I think in every situation when I think of something I've done for somebody, it's based on the love that I have for them. So currently, even for me, looking after a loved one and being part of a carer in their life, for me is one of the biggest sacrifices because I had to change my direction and my environment in order to be there for them. So I think that's one of the biggest sacrifices I've made for love.
This garment made me feel very embraced, protected, and that speaks for the origin story itself.
I remember seeing one of their harness pieces that genuinely reminded me of a hug. It's invoked an emotion that made me feel very loved and feel very at peace.
It comes from an emotion from how a child feels about their parent and what they've seen their parent go through and how it's inspired them and how they want to honor them. So for me, it really embodies the essence of love.
It has a sense of uniqueness. I've not seen anything like it before, and I like that. It makes me feel very bold, very outlandish.
It makes me feel feminine and sexy, which I love, and very chic, very one way.
Feel strong. It makes me feel empowered. It makes me think about journeys and strength and where I want to go in the future and that protection because it's got structure to it.
I think it's very classy. I think it's a very corporate, structured, classy piece.
And I think Jaqkodí and the pieces can really help people bring out the best versions of themselves and really slay wherever they go.
I think fashion is sustainability. I think when we think about how fashion started, it started actually as protection and armor and keeping us warm. And now it's about how we express ourselves.
With fast fashion, it doesn't last. You buy it one day, the next day it's ripped, or the zip's broke, or the button's gone. I think with sustainability, it lasts. You can pass that down to your kids. I wear my mum's clothes that are sustainable still, even from the 90s or the 80s. So I think fashion comes in and out, but when you have a good piece, a good staple piece, I think it's priceless, really.
Oh, for sure. We use byproducts of the meat industry. So essentially, all the bits and scraps that the meat industry do not want, we take them. The leather lasts for over a decade. So this is something that you can buy once and wear forever. So it's great. And as you have it in your wardrobe over time, it gets better. It just ages well.
If you're not constantly innovating your production processes, then no fashion in this world is going to last.
Nice.